What's up? What's going on? Oh goodness, here we go again. I need someone to, let's see, as I go live, I need to fix this. Hate having to fix things, y'all. I need somebody to come over here and fix this. Videos from this event. Here we are. And let's make this public. There we are. Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness. Hi, Irie. Good to see you. Hi, Angela. We're gathering the troops. I have my nice little holiday. They changed the setting on my platform so that there's a little holiday setting here. And just forgive that I have a Hanukkah menorah behind me when it's kind of over. But I liked it so much that I just wanted to keep it. And I've got my Yeah, looks like I might have to get a new microphone for the new microphone that I got because it's not connecting properly. Hello, Sam. All good now. Okay. Yeah, this just means that I have to lean over this way, or I could tip it, but it might go in and out because the cord seems a little bit loose. But so thank you for telling me, because if you don't tell me, I won't know. So hello everyone from wherever you're coming in from, whether you're on Facebook or you're on where am I streaming today? I'm streaming on my profile. I'm streaming on Facebook on my page, my Spirit Light Insight page, and wherever you are in the world. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and happy end of your week or beginning of your weekend if you're on the other side of the world. And welcome to TGIF Insight for the Curious and Enlightened for our podcast listeners. And if you're new here, not listening live, I'm your host, Debbie Tatel from Spirit Light Insight. And you can find all my information on my website. I'm not going to do my normal spiel that that I go through. If you are on Facebook, jump on over to YouTube for the best viewing and commenting. There's a whole crowd of people over there, so we love to have you. I mean, you're welcome to stay on Facebook and just hang on, listen in. But I love to have a kind of nice give and take for what you want to learn, what you want to hear. So if you're doing that and you're actually on the event, the link is actually right in the YouTube. But welcome everyone from, oh my gosh, if this gets, I feel like we're just adjusting. It's all good. This is go with the flow. Can we just say Mercury retrograde and we've got solar flares? For heaven's sake, that's that's amazing. There, my mom is here, so she's saying hello. Hi again. I'm not sure. Maybe you said hi earlier, and I didn't see it. I don't know, but hello and welcome, everyone. There's all kinds of stuff energetically going on that we're going to talk about a little bit today, and how I kind of get into, actually you're going to find out a little bit more about my process, about how I call it going down the energy rabbit hole as a clairvoyant. But this is also what I do when I read each of you. Sam is asking if I offer messages from spirits. I do. I'll probably be doing that. Well, I don't always do that in these shows. Technically, I say get a reading, but every now and then. So let's see what happens. But hang out, because you might get your own message once we work this this energy. But yes, I actually do offer messages from spirits, just not maybe here and maybe today. So, oh my gosh. So I have to start out by saying happy birthday to my dad in heaven, or wherever he's at. I don't know that there's a heaven per se, but wherever my dad is, and this is a strange joke, but he is twinking around the world, helping all the little children. That's something he said when he had surgery. I think it might have been a heart bypass or something like that. And he was definitely on some really good drugs, and that's what he said. He was twinking around the hallways. But he transitioned. Oh gosh, what was that? 2001, I think it was. He's still around. I still have, speaking of messages from spirits, I do speak to him periodically, and he's been around, but he's basically traveling. He hangs around my nieces and nephew kind of a lot more than me. So yeah, so that's kind of have to say happy birthday. Dad would have been 90 years old today, so that's what we celebrate that a little bit. So that's where we are. So what a crazy week. So we had our Hanukkah party, and I'm just kind of blasting that out. So this was like holiday party 1.0, and then, Christmas will be 2.0. So we like to cover all bases in our family, since we've got folks from not just one religion, but we have a nice little all-inclusive group here. So, but we had our Hanukkah party, and what it's like getting ready for all these parties. And I think that you're probably all experiencing that. I know some of you who come on here are not, let's say, fans of the holidays, but welcome anyway, right? So we had a wonderful holiday party, and it really, one of the things, and I'm writing something up about this that you'll see, but I noticed something. So this is really crazy. I'm going to share this with you right now. I'll still write it, but so you can read it. But so I have my menorah here, and it's still lit. I don't know if if I turn it off, I'll have to light it again. But so it's lit for the 8 nights. And I haven't had a menorah in a while because I have a cat with long hair. And energetically, I really missed it because to me, this is such a holiday of light and celebration of light. But one of the things that I noticed is that the first night I turned off all the lights and I said the prayers and did all that and lit the shamus. That's the middle candle. Google it if you don't know what that is. But that one candle is there to light the other candles. And I've always loved the symbolism that one flame can light the flames of other candles, or in our case, as humans, that each of us as human beings can light the flame of another. Yeah. But what I noticed about my menorah is on the first night when my whole condo was in, darkness, and then I lit the candle, is there was a dimness. You could see kind of silhouettes on the one side. You could see the beautiful lights, or, just those two lights, but you couldn't really see the details of everything that was kind of on my desk or anything. And by last night, when I lit the last candle, it was as if the whole room was lit up. And I just looked at it and thought, wow, what an amazing uh, power to look at that and recognize that the more we are all lit together, the more we shine our light, the more light shines in the world. It's not a mistake. I could see from this little menorah everything in my room perfectly clearly. And the first night it was not. So I want to kind of leave you with that sort of imagery, because each of us has the ability to shine, and in doing so, light the flame, so to speak, for those who might be feeling down and out this time of year, or very stressed out, or missing loved ones. So be sure to shine. And the more we do this together, the brighter and brighter it gets. The more clarity we will have all together. So if you're following me on social media, you're going to see that in the next couple days. I try to get it out as quick. Actually, I wasn't even going to talk about it here, but here it is. Here it is. It must have been in my awareness, and you all must have wanted to hear that little story. So very strange energy today. There is solar stuff going on. It is affecting everyone's crown chakra. If you saw the title on this, we're talking about the crown chakra, and I'm going to go into some information about that. But people were just driving around completely unaware of their surroundings, and just like stopped and staring off. I passed a couple of cars that they were just kind of staring off. I thought, oh my gosh, is something wrong? Never seen people driving while unconscious. And I don't mean unconscious like conked out, but I mean unconscious in the sense their eyes were open, but they just weren't present. And I'm curious, is anybody else kind of noticing that in their world, that people seem to be just unaware and just very wrapped up in the whole holiday season or Christmas season or whatever you're wrapped up in? I would love to hear. So drop in the comments. Feel free to have this a conversation and questions. Yeah. And what happens to me when I see a lot of this going on is I actually tend to sit down and look at it as a clairvoyant. I look at the energy and what is that's causing that. And there really is kind of this underlying vibration that is affecting everybody. And it's coming in again through the crown chakra. And that unconsciousness is kind of if I were to describe it as a clairvoyant, it's sort of a whitish, milky whitish kind of energy. But just like you see things as signs and trends and things like that, so do I, right? And so as I was kind of moving through the world today, and I went to the gym and everything and did my thing, and I just started to kind of get this sense that I needed to be more aware. Maybe I was a little bit unconscious or in that kind of, I call it a white space. I've called it that since I was a little kid. Never knew what it was until I was in clairvoyant training and got a chance to actually look at that energy. But just like you look at trends and signs and you see numbers 1111 or 333 or 444, whatever that is, I see signs in everything. Yeah. And I also work with my clairaudience. So that is my clear hearing. That's an ability in the fifth chakra. We're going to talk about chakras today, folks. So here we all are, right? So I hear things kind of in my mind. And what I kept hearing was, keep in mind, keep in mind. And those words, keep in mind, and this has been going on about a week, is like, keep in mind the little kids, keep in mind the less fortunate, keep in mind your mother, keep in mind, whatever that is. I'm sure you've heard that phrase. And that keep in mind, I sort of really get curious about that. And so the first thing I always do then is I look at, what's going on in my readings. Yeah. So I start to look and see, what is the programming we keep in mind? What are the things that we've been told that we're supposed to keep in mind? Yeah. So of course this means, don't forget, right? Don't forget. Keep them in mind. Janet's in the house. Welcome, Janet. I love to welcome people here. As they come in and say hello, and welcome to all of you who are stealth and haven't said anything. I do want to welcome you here too. I'm not excluding you, but I can't see actually everybody who's on. So anyway, so while this keep in mind doesn't usually means don't forget, I started looking at the energy of that phrase, and what I started to see is what, let's say I start to look at my clients and my readees, and what have they kept in mind? What is kind of programmed in their mind? Yeah. It's a very, very interesting energy. Now, there's nothing wrong with remembering or holding good thoughts or holding our loved ones in a space of love. But keep in mind, something is almost like a command that we want to really look at what it is that we're holding in there. Because sometimes those thoughts in our mind that we're keeping, right? The thoughts we keep in our mind, we think are our thoughts, but they're actually someone else's thoughts. And this is very, very common. Yeah. Not only it might not be their thoughts, it might be their information. We might think that their information is our information. Think our thoughts, think their thoughts are our thoughts. Try saying that 10 times fast. But it's very interesting when we start looking at what is our information and what is someone else's. And this is what kind of led me down the clairvoyant rabbit hole about looking at that crown chakra. So I'm just curious for all of you that are just coming on and popping on, drop in the comments. What have you been told to keep in mind? Like, was there any kind of information, even, kind of growing up? Maybe your parents told you something. Maybe, always remember, keep your parents in mind, keep your, whatever in mind. And I could think of like a million things, and I don't want to lead you to say, but kind of what comes to mind when I say that, because we're going to be talking about that crown chakra. It's a very powerful energy center. For those of you who are into that kind of stuff, which I'm thinking you are because you're here, right? So it's all good. So I have been looking at my crown chakra and the crown chakra, or the seventh chakra, of my reading clients. So we've got, just to give you a little bit of background, we work with and I teach all about the 7 main chakras. Yeah. There's chakras 8 through 12, and there's all kinds of other kind of energy centers and bodies. But I teach based on the 1st to the 7th. So it's when I teach you how to ground, that's from the 1st chakra, and the 7th chakra is the one at the top of our head. Yeah. So what I've been seeing in all this space is how easily we let in other people's energy or other people's information and other people's programming. Sometimes that programming is very well-meaning. Maybe your parents want the best for you, and so they tell you that this is the way to do it. That's a programming. And sometimes we have to let go of that. Actually, most times we have to let go of that because we have our own information. We have our own energy, and we have our own mock-ups and things that we want for ourselves, for our lives. And when we start looking at it and kind of, I don't want to say picking it apart, but when we start to look to see what's there, that's when the magic begins. Yeah. It reminds me of that. Isn't there a MasterCard commercial? What's in your wallet? I always want to say, what's in your chakra? What's in your heart chakra? What's in your head? Yeah. But the reality is, and I think we've really gotten away from this, and that is that no one outside of you has your answers, including, and this includes spiritual information. Yeah. Well, I can teach you about the chakras and all the different energy systems. And once you begin to put those in use and use your clairvoyant abilities and use all your gifts and your natural, like we are naturally that way. Yeah. But there is so much spiritual information that is out there, and we have to discern what is the truth and what is, maybe somebody's not so on the up and up and putting things out there. Everything is so programmed. And wouldn't it be great to look for yourself? Maybe you've got a different idea. I'll give you one that's very interesting, and that is like with the chakras. There's a whole lot of information out there that says that a certain chakra is a certain color, and it has to be that way. Actually, your chakras can be any color. Now, that's not wrong information that's being put out there by some of the spiritual teachers. It's been put out there for actually sometimes thousands of years. Yeah. That doesn't mean it's bad or wrong. It's that when that person looked at it clairvoyantly or worked on it or worked with those chakras, that's the color they saw. So that's a kind of a perfect example. You really, when you look at this information, especially if you're going out on the internet and you're trying to study for yourself and things like that, you really need to have own your space and have your discernment with it. Yeah. So you ready for a little chakra class? I'm not going to give you everything, but I'll give you some really good tidbits here so that you're understanding what I'm talking about. So here's a little bit about the crown chakra, the 7th chakra, the one that's at the top of your head. It's located at the top of your head. It is shaped like a cone going into your head. That's how I see it all the time. Yeah. And several of my colleagues. And so that's, you can look and you can see it as well. The other chakras, they might be facing a different direction. Yeah. Chakras are the word chakra, I believe, is the Sanskrit word for wheel. So it is round, right? But these chakras hold your information, your present time incarnations, your past incarnations, your as a soul, all of those little pieces and tidbits of information, and they're all found in your chakras. The attribute or the main thing for your seventh chakra is your knowingness. What you know, having answers come to you, your own wisdom downloads from other lifetimes. Some people bring in light codes and things like that. But this is your own knowingness and access to your own answers that where you connect with the spiritual God of your heart and you convene with them, right? You have conversations. But this is access to your answers. And so I just want to be clear, there's a lot more to that chakra than just that. I'm giving you one little piece, just one little piece so we can work with it tonight. Yeah. So many people come to me and say, I really don't have any clarity. I'd like clarity about my relationships or my career or the next thing I'm going to do or what I should do, or I'm at a crossroads, right? It's all about clarity and knowing what they want to do. Most people don't have that vision when they come to me, and by the time they're done, hopefully they're able to create it. I don't create it for them. They create it. Yeah. But what I say is, how can you access and bring in your answers if it's clogged up with everyone else's thing that you should keep in mind energetically, whether it's programming or whether it's information or whether it's just a well-meaning, I love you, this is how to do it, this is how I've done it, and this is how we've done it forever. So you should do it that way too. Yeah. But we can't access our answers and have clarity if we're looking at everyone else's answers out there, or if our crown chakra is clogged up with those pieces of information. Yeah. So this ties directly into what I was talking about earlier. So what do you keep in mind? What's on your mind? It's, it's holiday time, whatever you celebrate, Hana, Kwana, Christmaka, whatever that is, but Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, nothing. Maybe you don't even believe in spirit, but then I'd be very surprised if you were actually even listening. But if you are listening, please do open your mind and consider that there's something more. There's something there. But what do you keep in mind that might be clogging the works? That when you try to move forward or go to do something or create something new, especially, and you just keep hitting that kind of that block, that thought, that doubt, what's in your mind? Remember, this is all mind, body, spirit, and everything is energy, including your answers and how you see them. Whew. Everybody give yourselves a breath. Take a second. I'm looking at the energy here and it's quite amazing. Everybody's like, yes, this is, I hope that I am reminding you, because I'm not here really. Yes, I can teach you, but I think you're going to find that when I say things start to make sense to you. And then you go, you know what? I think I knew that at some time, because each of you was a spiritual master in a lifetime. Each of you studied with someone in a past lifetime. Each of you had controlling lives, male and female lives, lots of different things. Yeah. And you can learn tools and techniques. All those techniques are going to help guide you to your information, but no one knows better than you what's best for you. And not in that belligerent ego sort of a nothing else. It's only this thing and you need to do this thing too. It's not ever about anyone else. It's always what's best for you. Yeah. So in the meditation, And please do drop your questions about the crown chakra or your comments or things that are coming to mind as I was talking. Please drop those comments into wherever you are, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or soon to be probably TikTok. I know it's one more thing. But in the meditation, we're going to clear some of that energy that affects your crown chakra, including that spiritual programming, so that you have an open space to have your clairvoyance, have your knowingness, so that you can see, hear, and know. Yeah. What's happening, right? There's so much out there. So I'm just curious, does anyone feel like they've been following someone else's well-meaning path rather than their own? Now, I mean, I know my mom's here and everything, but I pretty much thinking that, when I was little, had I said, I'm going to grow up and be a clairvoyant, might not have hit home very well, but we always knew we had an interesting family. So there's that. But who of you who are listening, and I'd love to hear, are following someone else's well-meaning path rather than your own? Because here's the thing, you get to decide what you keep in mind, especially energetically. Hopefully you're there. Yeah. And when you start to clear all the excess energy out, you're just going to be able to see, hear, and know so much more with clarity and perspective, and like sort of a much broader perspective even. So that's all about, isn't it interesting what happens when I go down the clairvoyant rabbit hole? Because that's really what I'm talking. All this came out of me in meditation, looking at these various energy centers and looking at my crown chakra and what kind of programming is in there and what, where did it come from? It could be teachers, parents, it could be, significant others. There's just so much to that crown chakra, including, but not limited to, that is the place where we have that ability to channel energy, to bring it in, to actually channel it through. So there's so much more to that energy center. And, as I said, if you want to learn more about the crown chakra and seeing and knowing and moving through the world with clarity, I do see, this is the thing. Don't you all want more clarity? This is my like half hour station identification, but I've got a Clairvoyant Essentials program starting on January 16th. And I'm going to drop the link to the page, to the information page, right in your, wherever it is. You can either point your phone at the QR code there, or you can, the link will show up in the various channels wherever you are. But if it's something you're interested in and you want to talk about it, or you have questions, do schedule an information meeting. This page has mostly the whole breakdown for it, but you're probably going to have some questions. But this stuff is so amazing and it's so interesting. And being, so I'm not a clairvoyeur, but I'm certainly a curious clairvoyant. I'm never going to, I love when people say, can you read my mind? Read my mind. Tell me what I'm thinking. Well, I don't know what you're thinking. I'm not omniscient, but I can see your pictures and your energy in your aura. I can see the disturbance in the force, so to speak. And that's what I teach you how to do, is to see that. So when you move through the world, you have your own clarity in that way. So yeah, we've got lots going on. I've got lots of programs. I'll talk about them all at the end, but I wanted you to especially know about this one because it's a bit of it's a program, and it will just take you from A to Z in a matter of months. So anyway, so the reason that I'm bringing that all up And I know you're supposed to get to the point with these things right away. And that would be great that I titled it, Is Mercury Retrograde Messing with Your Mind? But I needed to hear that stuff like first. But is Mercury retrograde messing with your mind? Mercury retrograde on the 13th. Oh dear God, the pre-shadow I think was right around Thanksgiving. Things have gone wacko berserko. Even my friend was staying here. Light bulbs went out. I'm noticing it all a way around. I brought my car in for service. I scheduled it before Mercury retrograde, like for like over a month ago. And one of the lights came back on. It wasn't. I don't think it was on when I picked it up. And I started to laugh when I called them, and they're like, "Yeah, it's an electronic sensor." And I went, well, "Sure, that makes sense. It's Mercury retrograde." But yeah, we've been in that pre-shadow. And what is so amazing, and so this talks about the programming in the crown chakra, but there doesn't seem to be any other astrological event that I know of that brings more fear to the spiritual community than Mercury retrograde. Everybody groans and just wants to blame, and just everything is blamed on Mercury retrograde. We all know, or well, many of us know, some of us might be new to it, like kind of what happens with Mercury retrograde. Yeah, it's all about things, technology goes wacko. And by the way, I have noticed, and I would have to pull up historical stuff. And just for reference, would you believe that my favorite site to pull up things like this is actually the Farmer's Almanac? Now I think it's called the Old Almanac, but it's the Farmer's Almanac. And you can find all the dates and the back dates and things like that. But we seem to always have one during the holiday season, during the December. And so isn't it interesting how many pieces of technology that's, by the way, the one thing that I don't do during Mercury retrograde is I don't futz with technology. Right? I'm not going to buy a new phone. I'm not going to get a new computer if at all possible, or I'm not going to go through any of that. But so there always seems to be one like kind of right in December through January. So this one arrived full force December 13th, 2023. And the cycle actually goes through to January 1st, 2024, which to me, again, paying attention to those signs, I love that this particular year, when we are basically shape-shifting as our energy, spiritually shifting, raising our vibration and doing all those things, that we have this opportunity to review, reflect, revise, reset, rejuvenate, all before January 1st. Like, it's giving us this time to pause and really give ourselves a collective breath. Because I don't know about any of you, but 2023 came through like a freight train. And it's blink of an eye, suddenly we're in December. So this is the time that we have to take pause. So slow down. Listen to Mercury. Listen to what it is telling you. But during this time, Mercury will move from Capricorn to Sagittarius. And even with like what I was talking about, the energy earlier, and everybody kind of walking around unconscious and all that. But there seems to be a confusion or a fuzzy headedness, and emotions are running really, really high. So has anybody been uber sensitive lately, or even stressed out? It's caused a great deal of stress. And when I say fuzzy headed, I'm talking more along the lines of things that you always had mental clarity about, and then suddenly it's not that you can't remember, but you're a little fuzzy on them, and oh, maybe I need to double check that. And that's always a good idea anyway. Yeah. But what I'm noticing out in the world in this Mercury retrograde is like clarity has been thrown out the window, as this kind of, it's like a confusion that sets in, and frustration is coming out. And there's all kinds of crazy things. I mean, I had to go to the store today, and there's an outage at Target, which is a big, if you're here in the US, it's like a big department store thing. I was picking up milk, don't ask. And then after I left their parking lot, there was then this accident over on, and then suddenly the fire trucks were coming by, and then there was something else that went on as I was, and this was in a matter of, I drive home from my gym, it's 10 minutes, and all of this is on the way, and it's all happening. So there's a lot of confusion and frustration, and people are taking that frustration out on others. Yeah. So what are you noticing about this Mercury retrograde? It's been quite kooky, but I'll give you some fun facts about Mercury retrograde. Fun facts. Woohoo. So first of all, Mercury is the planet of communication. So be aware of all your communications. There's going to be a lot of misunderstandings and things like that. So just have clarity in your communications. Dot your I's, cross your T's in your emails. I know that they say, don't sign contracts and things like that when Mercury's in retrograde, but let me tell you something. It's incredible that I sell real estate and do more business during a Mercury retrograde. So I look forward to Mercury retrograde, because again, it goes back. It's like things repeat. So, wow, Janet saying several power outages. Yeah, and so it's not helping that Mercury's in retrograde and there's solar flares for all of that. And are you having the rolling blackouts for the energy saving, or is it just power outages? I'm just curious, because it can be either one. But just pay attention to all your communications, whether it's verbal, whether it's written, especially with people. The Capricorn influence, like if you're at work and wanting to wind down because it's a holiday season, and just kind of take a pause with everything, just in the Mercury retrograde, the vein, the I'm thinking of a word and it's escaping me. See what I mean about fuzzy-headedness? Oh my gosh. And I was so clear when I came on. But the Capricorn influence, so what it is it starts out in Capricorn, and then it's going to move into Sagittarius. So the Capricorn influence wants results and answers. Okay. That's what chop, want the answer, want the results. Yeah. But be sure during this particular Mercury retrograde to just let things unfold instead of pushing through. And Janet just verified that it power outages, not blackouts. Yeah. And there might be more. I mean, I actually, even entering into this, if you were here in the beginning, we had a sound issue. Oops. Okay. Right? Perfect Mercury retrograde. I like to lead by example. So what's a good Mercury retrograde without my sound going out? Well, it could be my lighting. So I'm just not, that was me knocking on wood. So anyway, yeah. So just let things unfold for the next couple weeks. There's no need to rush. There's no need to rush to the store and make yourself crazy, even if you're holiday shopping. I'm basically finished. I got my mom got the coolest gift, I think, but I got her this cool electronic cat that does everything. It's really cool. But there's no need to rush. Everything in the world, everything in our personal lives, everything is going to unfold exactly as it should. So don't resist how that is. You don't need to have an expectation of what that is. Your spirit is guiding you, whether you listen or not. It's creating that space for you to just kind of unfold as is needed. Yeah. So the beauty of this Mercury retrograde as it moves from Capricorn into Sagittarius kind of right before the end is that it's going to bring optimism and hope, and that's all going to coincide with the new year. And I think all of us can use a little bit of that. Yeah. Hope in the new year. Are we just hoping it's different? Maybe slows down. But this is the perfect time for a year in review. Yeah. During another fun fact, Mercury retrograde, intuition runs high during this cycle. So definitely pay attention. Yeah. It's a perfect time to follow your intuition, follow your inner guidance and go. And by the way, for the record, and I don't know, I don't want to forget to say this, Mercury retrograde means it's moving backwards. It is actually just an illusion. Just like life, we have lots of illusions, yeah, in astrology. So it's not really going backwards. But your intuition does seem to run a little bit higher during this cycle. So really pay attention, clean up your energy, reset, revise, replenish, rejuvenate, and really go with the Mercury retrograde flow. I have article after article on my blog, on my Medium writing site. I even think I have a couple videos on it here from when Mercury was in retrograde the last time. So there's definitely other places you can get a lot more information. But for this one, I just really wanted to do that crown chakra, because looking at what we have in our mind is really revisiting, letting go. And maybe you worked on this before, but sometimes letting go isn't all incomplete, because what happens, and I have this with people come to me all the time, oh, I let go of that. Well, but maybe you're working on it at the next level. Not that you didn't let go of it when, let's say you let go of it in the third level, now you're in the fourth level. Right? We are all constantly evolving and hopefully becoming more of ourselves. Yeah. So this Mercury retrograde in particular, with the keep in mind and clear it out, is really going to direct us to our own inner reflection, turning our attention within. Yeah. So hopefully your experience, because we're going to, in the meditation, we're going to talk about thriving during Mercury retrograde. We're going to actually set our energy to thrive and clear any of the fear. By the way, the fear of Mercury retrograde is a spiritual programming. And I've seen many sites that actually were like, put me into fear. I was like, that's crazy. That's not my information. Yeah. So you don't have to fear any of this. It happens. It's all about cycles. It's all about us owning our own information and having our own space. Yeah. But we can thrive during any of these times. So yeah, if you've got any questions about anything, Mercury retrograde or resetting your energy, before we jump into our closing meditation where we're going to reset, recharge, revise, revisit, rejuvenate, replenish. And we're going to do that chakra clearing, crown chakra clearing. and really just kind of own our space. So we're going to get ready for that right now. Thank you, iFree. You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. I hope you can stick around for the meditation, and if you can't, please do listen later, because this one's going to be a good one. But for now, and I'll do a little thing. Oh my goodness, if you like all of what's going on here, wherever you are, please do subscribe, like, and share around town. Bring all your friends. More the merrier. We are creating an amazing community here of like-minded souls. You can reach me at, wait, let's see if that's not happening. Let's see. Sometimes I just don't know. You can reach me at spiritlightinsight.com. That is my website. Actually, I'll put up the QR code that takes you right to my website, spiritlightinsight.com. Again, you can point your phone, or the link to it will show up in your wherever you are, wherever you're watching. And I'd love to have you. If you go to the booking page, book an appointment, you can get an appointment. You can also see on that booking page everything that we have to offer. I'm going to announce that at the end, but we've got a Create Your Dream 2024 on the 7th of January. We've got on the 21st, we've got a beautiful meditation for what are we doing? A solstice ritual, which is our annual solstice celebration and ritual, which is an incredible meditation. Even I love it. I do it before I teach it, so that's always good. Yeah, so that's what's going on. I do have openings. I am in town for the entire holiday season. I'm available to you. So everybody give yourselves a breath as we enter into our meditation. Keep your mind open. And if you've got a different method of meditating, please do follow along. You can always, add whatever you like from this one into your own. But I'd like you to follow along and just kind of do this thing as we do it. So be seated in a chair. You can put a pillow behind your back. But just begin that process of just relaxing. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. And give yourself a breath. Put down whatever you're doing. Give yourself just that space to be. Give yourself a breath and begin to turn your attention within. Begin to tune in to your soul. Tune in to your body. And as you do that, recognize that there's nothing you need to fix or change. This is a space just for you to turn your attention inward to that perfect space as you are. Give yourself a breath and say hello to the base of your spine, the tip of your tailbone, where your first chakra is located. That is the energy center where we ground, where we are able to release energy. It also makes us safe so that we can open up the upper chakras. When we are grounded, that is when we are able to really open up and unfold, like the lotus flower at the crown chakra. So say hello to that area at the tip of your tailbone. And imagine that you're connected to the center of the earth. You can use whatever you like to connect, but consider using a tree where It's connected right at that space and it widens out, and you begin to see a flow of energy moving down the inner part of that tree and getting released into the center of the earth. Let go of anything that no longer serves you as you bring your attention back to here and now. Give yourself a space to be. And then go ahead and breathe and release. Let go of your troubles or any stress or anything you've become responsible for during the week. And there's no effort in this. Just breathe in, and as you exhale, it's just going to begin flowing down that grounding cord in a beautiful river of energy. Notice what's happening as you relax into this space and watch that river flowing down as you let go. And then go ahead and move your attention into the center of your head, the center of your awareness, where you're in charge. Imagine that you're resting right in that spot, right in the center, and you're in a space that is just yours, a spiritual sanctuary where you can be free, where you can be who you are, where you have space to be and express yourself as you are. Place where you can see and have clarity. And then notice that grounding as you're seated in the center of your head. See how that looks to you. And you can even experience that by feeling your connection to the earth. Now say hello to that crown chakra, the one at the top of your head. And even if you're not even sure what it is, just say hello to that area at the top of your head. And just see, have you had your clarity or your knowingness, and just begin to own that. And not in resistance or ego or any of the above, but just gently begin to own it and release any energy. Set your intent to release the energy that is in there that's not yours. Whether it is someone else's energy, whether it is someone else's information, or someone else's programming. And just really notice if you get images or thoughts that run through your mind. You don't need to push them away. Notice what is coming up. Notice that space. Imagine that there's let's say a cylinder, a golden cylinder, and that you're letting go of anything that's not at that beautiful golden color. You can let that go down your grounding, or if you choose, there's a space where if you just release, it can actually come out of the top of your head as well. Let go of any energy you've been keeping in mind, or someone has reminded you to keep in mind. You may be experiencing this as familiar because of the Mercury Retrograde effect on all of us, but also because all of these YouTubes and everything we do happens on the astral before we do it in the body. This is another place where you begin to get your clarity and consciousness as you clear energy. We're revisiting and just cleaning up anything in the space that's not you, in that cylinder above your head, in that crown chakra, that energy center. Give yourself a breath and let go of any spiritual information or fear about Mercury retrograde. Maybe others around you are afraid and you picked up their energy. Or maybe you were told that that's what it does. Oh no, oh no. Let's begin to let that go so that you can thrive during this time. What's so interesting is the moment we decide to look for ourselves, we are going to have a different experience. We can decide to have that different experience and explore a new way of being. And when we do that, that's when things start to change around us. That's when we start to get our space back. It's all about the decision to just let go of any of that fear or anything that's not yours. In a way, what we're doing when we do that, just give yourselves a breath and just keep releasing. But as we do that, the moment we shift from there's nothing I can do about it, powerless mode, like, Mercury's in retrograde, there's nothing I can do about it, to I'm going to have a new experience in relation to it, which is a powerful mode. That's when our energy and attention shift from outside to inside. And as we all know, or if you don't know, I'm going to share with you, happiness is always an inside job. But go ahead and connect with your happy place. Put your hand on your heart and even connect with your heart space. Let that happy place within you begin to grow and expand within. It's going to automatically clear out anything that you don't even have to identify stuff sometimes. Sometimes just connecting with your happy place, if that's in the center of your head or someplace else, but wherever your happy place is within. So yes, things are going to happen during Mercury retrograde and when there's solar flares and all of those things. But if we take a breath and reground and revisit and reflect, we're actually fulfilling the purpose of the Mercury retrograde cycle instead of fighting against it. You always have a choice in how you react. So give yourself a breath and be right here and now in your happy place, connected to the earth. Releasing, being grounded, steady, steadfast. And with your eyes closed, begin to bring your awareness back to your physical body and your surroundings. Give yourself a few deep breaths and wiggle your fingers and toes to gently help you start to re-energize your physical body, and just give yourself space to be as you are. Now imagine a beautiful golden sun above your head, filled with light and love and joy. And you can call back your life force into that golden sun and watch it grow. Sprinkle a little bit of happiness in there since we had you in your happy place. and put some things that you would like to have in the next week or so, because my goodness, we're going into that sort of pre-Christmas week. So let that golden sun just fill up with joy, with happiness, with your life force. And then go ahead and you can bring that golden sun right down through your crown chakra, right down into it. Let it flow through you from top to bottom. Have it then begin to expand outward from you. And watch as that golden light begins to surround you with your energy and all the things that you called into that gold sun. Peace, calm, happiness, joy, family, love. I could go on. I'm reading all your pictures. Let that expand till you're sitting in a bubble of golden light that's about, let's say, 6 feet around you, side to side, front and back, above and below. And just enjoy yourself in that space for just a moment. And just check in with yourself and see maybe if you're feeling a little bit different than when we started. Put a great big smile on your face as you give yourself one more big, deep breath that you breathe in, allow it to transform you within, and breathe out and allow it to transform the world. And then when you're ready, go ahead and just open your eyes and look around your room. Don't get up really quick from this if you were really in it. Just look around your room and return to yourself. Just stomp your feet on the floor and just really feel that ground beneath you. Great job, everyone. Angela sent a little message. She can so relate to this. I'm so glad you could relate. Which part did you love? Which part did you really relate or resonate with? And did you find any answers while I was talking? Your own answers, not necessarily my answers, but what did you notice about what was going on? What was your experience in all of this? Because this is really how you can thrive during Mercury retrograde. Just that meditation is going to help you get your space back. And when you have your space back, you have a little bit more awareness and a little bit more expansion and a little bit more of your energy, so that you're unclogged, so that you have some clarity. Yeah. I'm kind of checking the chat. Yeah. So as we wrap up our wrap up, if you're still here, I've got several of you that, kind of ebbs and flows. But to wrap up our wrap up, definitely use Mercury retrograde to your advantage, to give yourself space to reflect and review and just reset your energy. Right? We've got a big week coming up. There's lots of parties or not, or maybe you're hiding and not going anywhere. But do not isolate. Get out there and just see the beauty of wherever you are. Definitely be kind to people. You don't know what people are going through. This can be a very difficult time for many, many people. Not everyone has a great experience during the holidays. And so just really be kind to everyone you meet. You never know what they're going through. But you can use this Mercury retrograde to your advantage to do your own reflection about those things as well. You get to decide what you want to keep in mind. Yeah. you get to own your crown chakra right up here and own your space and own your own spiritual information. What if you set out to have an amazing Mercury retrograde, an amazing holiday season as you just let go? Yeah. That's really what this is all about. So, gosh, thanks everyone for once again hanging out and coming and joining me here. I hope that you're enjoying the community we're growing. As I mentioned earlier, readings and healings are available. That winter solstice meditation, people are saying thank you. So I'm trying to put up the, you are absolutely welcome, Richard and Janet and Ivory and oh, that's great. Welcome, Tom. Thank you for coming. I love it. Tom says, as we wrap up our wrap up, it's time to wrap up those last minute gifts. It's true. Wrap up the last minute gifts. Don't forget that. We'll watch from beginning soon. That's great. I always appreciate you popping on whenever it is, and that it's up there for you to see. Ivory is saying thank you so much. You are very welcome. Thank you. This is just beautiful. But we've got our, so gosh, as we really wrap up again, so I'm going to put a few links in there. You can book a session or sign up for a workshop. You can go here or go to that link. Do use it. I'm around. This is actually my busy season. I'm a clairvoyant. People have families. It's a thing. So be sure to check my schedule. Where is oh goodness. So where's my okay. So I have my upcoming the meditation workshop that's coming up that I'm just setting that up right now. So you can go again. Here's some free meditations, but there's upcoming meditation workshops that are coming up. That solstice one is there. So hopefully you will join us. It's actually free, the solstice one. So definitely register. It's all happening and it's all there. What else? Oh my gosh. If you want to support the show, you can do so with our virtual tip jar. You don't have to. It's not, it's not mandatory. It's just nice. So if that's something that you're interested in, you could do that. Or it's also in this like little code here. One other class that I absolutely want to mention is this Create Your Dream 2024. There's a whole website. Like I have a whole, page on it if you want to see what we're going to be doing, because what we're going to do is collect up all our energy from the previous year and we're going to actually walk through the world of our dreams and how we want it for 2024. So definitely check that out. That is on the booking page. So just go to my website, spiritlightinsight.com, and jump on board. Clairvoyant program starts January 6th. Again, you can find me at spiritlightinsight.com. But for now, I hope everybody had an amazing reset. Yeah. And I just want you all to have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful new week. I will be on next week if you want to take a little break right before the Christmas few days that you get off or whatever. I will be here, but have a wonderful weekend. Wonderful new week. And always remember to keep your spirit light in sight and shine your light for all to see. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye for now.